You struggling to get sales as a real estate agent? Well, I can assure you that you're potentially just not having the right skills right now to get those people from leads to actual conversions. And a lot of this comes down to scripting. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing my top 7 scripts that you need to know as a real estate agent. Hey everyone, it's Russell Mortlock here. And if you're a real estate agent that's needing more help and wanting to elevate your real estate business and just need some training and feel like personally that I'm going to be able to help you out reach your real estate goals, well, you can join the Apex group. There's a link in the description below where we have so many different trainings and courses and weekly masterminds that you're going to be able to actually elevate your career as a real estate agent. So find that link in the description below. The first script that you need to develop is what is your unique selling proposition. So this is something that every real estate agent needs to have and something that you need to be able to speak freely about on what makes you different from the rest of the market and how you establish yourself as an authority. And if you're someone that is struggling to find exactly what could be your potential unique selling proposition, just comment your email below and I'll send you a PDF that will help you identify what you can potentially do to offer clients that's going to make you unique and stand out. And as you'll find with a lot of my training, it is usually completely different than most real estate coaches out there and what people provide, where mine is firsthand practical knowledge, what I've implemented and what's had me have massive success in my real estate business, where I've gone from a brand new agent to our team doing over $1 million in commissions in 3 years. It's absolutely amazing, and I owe a lot of the success I have to the people that have mentored me, and that's why I'm willing to pass this on to other people so I can see other agents succeed. It's an incredibly hard business, a roller coaster of emotions, so I want to be able there to help you folks out. And you'll see with my training, a lot of it's different in the sense that like we have scriptings, but I deal mostly in my scripting as storytelling is what I tell is storytelling, where I use these different frameworks of telling stories as my scripts. They're way easier to remember because they're true, and I personally did them, so I can just speak to them really easy and off the cuff for whatever situation I'm in, because I know so many people just get worried all the time, like, oh, I don't have my script in front of me, or you're reading it and you miss a question, you get kind of foggled and bogged down, where my method of scripting is you just tell stories of how you've knocked it out of the park for past clients, how you overcame certain circumstances to make sure people hit their goals. So let's dive into exactly the next script that you need to have. And that is going to be your first time home buyer script. So in this situation, you want to explain exactly what it would be like for a first time home buyer. And the story I always share is when I bought my first property and the few things that went wrong and the few things that you need to do in order to make sure you have success when you're buying your first property. Number 3, your next script you need to have developed is your investor script and story. So this one might be a little bit tricky if you're a real estate agent that hasn't quite invested in property, might be a little bit younger and hasn't quite been able to get into the real estate market. No worries, you can just talk about certain things that you're learning. So for me, I have done a ton of real estate investing, so I just speak about how buying real estate properties, how I was able to buy enough real estate properties to make enough net income that I potentially didn't need to work a job anymore. I was making enough income from my real estate holdings at a super young age, and it only took me 2 years to do. So I always share that story with investors. But if you're someone that's just on the up and coming or haven't done it, speak from it that you're learning about these and you heard about these stories of people doing that. And this what's really gets people motivated to start investing in properties. Number 4, your next one is your upsizer script. So going back to that storytelling, the story that I always tell for this is when my family, we grew up in a really small house. I have 3 other siblings and my parents were all crammed into this house, shared rooms. And I talk about how when we upsized our home, I was finally able to get my own bedroom when I was like 15 years old. And I always tell this story to people and what it felt like and how awesome it was for our family to finally get into a nice, better home. And this is the story that I continue to tell to upsizers to get them motivated, get them excited. These people usually have young children and are looking to just elevate their lifestyle and live a better lifestyle, and they do that primarily with their home. Next would be your listing story. So you want to have a story that's just absolutely action-packed and mostly particular to whoever your type of client is. One that I always tell is how there's an expired listing that we ended up getting that was listed with 3 other agents, and then me and my team came in and we ended up getting it sold in 2 weeks. And how we ended up getting this property sold was through our marketing channels of Facebook. That I got a buyer off Facebook that was super interested in the property, and we ended up getting an accepted offer in the first couple days and sold in 2 weeks. The next script you need to make sure you have dialed is, depending on how you generate business as a real estate agent, is some sort of prospecting script. So if you're doing cold calling to Google ads, to calling internet leads, Facebook leads, whatever, door knocking, make sure whatever you have there in terms of your prospecting to get leads, you have a script developed there. And if you need some insight on what lead generation is the best for your business or some help scripting, you're going to want to join the Apex group, where I have my personal scripts that I use for doing all these types of prospecting that's going to help you elevate your business. Script number 7 that you need to have developed is your listing presentation. So just going back to the storytelling aspect, I know there's so many different ways you can present it, and it has to be streamlined to your clients. Either if you're doing the PowerPoint or if you're just really going through the paperwork and going through the solds, make sure you have a script or a story and a system on how you do this every single time. I can't stress that enough, where you need it to be a repeatable process so you can improve on it and make it better. One thing I took from doing a lot of listing presentations for some big time clients is, a few times I was getting so excited being in these $5 million homes that I wasn't listening good enough to what the client was saying, and we ended up missing out on an opportunity to list a $5.6 million property just because my listing presentation wasn't completely dialed, in the sense of, like, I was missing certain cues that he was giving me on what he thought was most important. So having these listing presentations completely dialed, so when you're not nervous, you're not getting overly excited when you go and meet people, you're just able to be yourself and execute on it, is so crucial. I personally learned the hard way from that. I do have a lot of faith that we're ended up getting that listing here if it doesn't end up selling and it expires, because the guy did really love our enthusiasm and everything we had to bring to the table. But it was just something that I feel I have to share with other real estate agents that are building their business, that having your script dialed for your listing presentation so you can just go in there calm, cool, and collective and not be nervous, is what's going to have you hitting home runs and getting those big listings. And if you found this insight on what scripts you need to have really valuable and it's going to help your real estate business, you're going to want to join the Apex group there, where you're going to be able to get coached by me and by other like-minded people in the industry. But if you want to take it a step further and you want even more personalized coaching directly from me, well, I'm going to have a link to my calendar in the description below. Would love to have a quick chat with you how I can help you improve your business.